At 3:30, we got Georgia Southern, which is surprisingly 2-0, traveling to UAB, which is surprisingly 1-1. UAB favored by 11.5 points on Stadium. And Georgia Southern won an absolute shocker last week, but also wasn't really that shocking. Everyone was kind of like, oh, okay. No one was like, what just happened? It wasn't like when Marshall beat Notre Dame. Everyone was like, is this real? Everyone saw that and like, oh, damn, Nebraska sucks. But they all knew it was real immediately. Kyle Van Treese, the quarterback for Georgia Southern, is 66 of 102. He's thrown for 776 yards here early on. 5 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. Gerald Green has had 22 carries for 176 yards, 3 touchdowns, and Caleb Hood has had 12 catches for 170 yards and a tutty. UAB, on the other hand, lost a heartbreaker last week to Liberty. It was a close game, hard-fought game by the Blazers, but it was one that you think that UAB would win. Liberty just came out and they won that football game. It was impressive. Dylan Hopkins, the quarterback for UAB, went 23 of 33 here early on, thrown for 305 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, and has had a 69.7% completion percentage. Jermaine Brown Jr. has had 27 carries for 205 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Tejuan Palmer has had 6 catches for 77 yards. Sorry. These two teams have never played before, which is actually really interesting and cool. Georgia Southern's a good football team. I'm not going to lie. This year they look really good. Clay Helton has already made them a good program, I guess. Kyle Van Treese was a good quarterback. He was a good quarterback at Buffalo. He's a good quarterback here. He led his team on a game-winning drive against Nebraska last week. He's a good quarterback. He really is. He's an impressive one. The Eagles are good. Guys, they're good. But they're playing in a conference that is really good. You're talking about teams like Coastal Carolina, UL Lafayette. Those are just some of the undefeated ones. App State just upset Texas A&M, a top 10 Texas A&M team. Marshall upset a top 10 Notre Dame team, and they're still undefeated. South Alabama is kind of sneaking under the radar, but they had an absolute dominant win over Central Michigan. Sunbelt's a good conference, guys. They have some really good teams. Not to mention they just added a James Madison team from the FCS that won a national championship not that long ago with the FCS and just absolutely clobbered Middle Tennessee State. James Madison's good, guys. Obviously, they're not going to compete for a bowl game this year because they're not allowed to, which is dumb. I think it's a dumb rule. If you're asking me who I think will win this football game between Georgia Southern and UAB, I'm going to have to go with Georgia Southern simply because they're in a really tough conference. UAB is a good team, but I think that heartbreaker against Liberty is going to stay with them for a little bit longer, and I think Georgia Southern wins this one on the road. Give me the Eagles to come out with an upset.